ability to declare your own gun-free zones, and that's the language you cited from this code section when you did your resolution. The difference there is that section says that you are given the authority to declare your own gun-free zone outside of school zones as already defined by federal law. So the school zone definition becomes important because, as I understand it, I wasn't here for your meeting when you did this, but this is one of the buildings that was targeted with that resolution, was to prevent, your choice was to not have anyone bring firearms into this building, into this ECC building. When you use this statute to make that happen, you are fundamentally saying that this is not a school. So I am prohibited, in my opinion, from prosecuting them for bringing a firearm in here under that felony section. Where I am allowed to prosecute someone is because you've now made it a conditional use, since this building, as I understand, is owned by the Pittsylvania County School System. You have the authority, when you declare this gun-free zone, to say you cannot bring a gun in this building. And that makes it a conditional permit for entry. So I can prosecute you for trespassing if you come into this building. Is everyone following me? I can't prosecute you.
Which is not a felony.
It's a class 1 misdemeanor. It's still a significant crime because it is a crime for which you can receive up to 12 months in jail and a $2,500 fine, either or both. And because trespassing was deemed one of the barrier crimes that we need to help stop certain sex offenders, the legislature passed a law that said everybody's got to give a DNA sample. And you lose that privacy right because it goes into the DNA data bank. So that's a possibility. Now, the issue with trespassing is you got to give notice to prosecute somebody for trespassing. You have to give them actual notice, and there's 2 ways to do that. One is if somebody came into this building, because you passed your resolution, it's active right now. If I were not a law enforcement officer and I were armed, and I am a law enforcement officer, I'm not armed tonight. If I came in here with a gun and y'all saw me with my gun, because I had it on my hip and was proud to carry my gun, for example, you could say, Bryan, you got to go. You couldn't prosecute me right away for having a gun in here because I don't have any notice. Even though you've done it in a public hearing that's been broadcast, I got to show actual notice, which means I got to show that I got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt, because that's the element of every offense. I have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you knew you were told you couldn't come in here with a gun. As I said, there are 2 ways to do that. The first is you see me with one, you say, Bryan, you got to leave right now and take that gun off. You can come back in after you take the gun off, but you can't be in here with a gun. And I say, well, I ain't leaving. Then I can be arrested because I've been told to leave and told that I'm not allowed to have a gun. The other way is by posting. And everybody's seen no trespassing signs, no hunting signs, those kind of things. Those are posted signs that give the person foreknowledge. So you can post this building, firearms are not allowed.